What's going on, Jackson? How's everybody doing this morning, this Tuesday morning? I hope you slept well. I hope that, like I said, I hope that whatever issues may come up in your life, I hope you was able to take care of it, and everything like that. So, but as we all know, by looking at the mainstream media, what has happened with our former officials, former District Attorney Jody Owens, former Mayor Chuck Leanne Lumumba, and former council member Aaron Danks. We're not going to. I'm not finna beat nobody up, because I think Clay Edwards did enough of it. Yeah, you gotta. Throat. I need some water. Yeah, you gotta rise out of me today, partner. Because it seems to me you're real biased, partner. You're real biased. I'm not gonna call a race card, but hey, if you want to call it a race card, then let's call it what it is. Because you didn't give Ted DiBiase Jr. the same grace that you get. You didn't give them the same grace you gave Ted DiBiase Jr. You invited this guy on your show, and you holler, this guy gets an attorney, this, that, whatever. Yeah, I do watch the show. So let's not even go into that bull crap about, well, if you don't want to watch the show, you need to turn it away. I watch the show because I like to monitor your dumb ass. And I'm just going to tell you how I feel. Straight up. You know what I'm saying? Because today, you know what I'm saying, it was like, yeah, you got a rise out of me today. Ain't even gonna front. I ain't gonna fit it. I'm not finna tell you to calm it down and do none of that. I'm not finna protest in front of your radio station. I ain't finna do none of that. I ain't finna throw the little green Bibles in your lawn in front of your radio station. I ain't finna do none of that, partner. But what I am gonna tell you is that I reviewed your video last night, this morning. I'm telling you like this here. You better leave Tina Clay alone. You and Mr. Attorney was sitting there analyzing her comments. I ain't got too much to say about the city attorney, Mr. Attorney, because Mr. Attorney, he has to maintain a particular decorum about himself, and he can't get tied into your decorum, and he's not going to get tied into your decorum. But your decorum, sir, is very, very deplorable. And the thing is that a lot of people, they watch the show. Some folks like the show. Some folks don't like the show. Me personally, I stand in between until you say something ignorant, until you show bias behavior. Now, my plane landed on that. Now, this case with the former officials, it don't sit right with me. And I don't care what nobody say. This is my opinion, and it doesn't reflect any platform that hosts the 601 network. It don't sit right with me. Jody Owens gets seven counts Uh, um, Chuck Wade gets 5. Aaron Banks get 2. But they all get conspiracy charge. You know what I'm saying? They all get conspiracy charge. It couldn't have been me. I'd have fought that. I'd have fought that. Especially if if they wasn't predisposed. Come on. What kind of fucking attorney they got? If they was predisposed, it'd be a different story. See, this is what happens when you deal with these attorneys. They not gonna fight for you. These thinking attorneys ain't gonna fight. I'm telling you, I'm telling you, they're not gonna fight. They're gonna shuffle some paperwork and they're gonna plead out. Like they just did. Man, Yusufel was right. Yusufel was right. Man, they just pleaded out. They shuffled paperwork and they pleaded out. Man, them cats in 3 months. Man, 3 months, man, a whole decade of cases could have been built on them. Man, nah, we're gonna get a speedy trial. Let's move forward. I'm ready to rock and roll. Because I ain't did nothing wrong. Because the feds manufactured this crime. My question is, why did they target them 3 individuals? Why were they the target? Why did they set this thing up why it could have been an honest developer come in here and do this? And so what? They campaigns, whatever. They added some bread to the campaigns, whatever the case may be. So what? Folks do it all the time. Look, let me tell you something. I ain't tripping on that. Because number one, my question is where does that leave the convention center? Out of all this bullcrap that went down, where does it leave the convention center? They still ain't got no hotel. Where's the real developers? Where is the real developers? Why did they manufacture this crime? Like they was coming in as developers for that convention center. And we're just gonna pay y'all a little bit of bread so we can get this development going. What was that all about? What was that all about? Because only the feds know. Somebody put a bug in their ear about something, or somebody conjured up something in order to get some type of scandal going. Because this ain't nothing but a ding-dong scandal. It's a ding-dong scandal. And they folks is like taking the bait. I don't know. It's crazy. It's crazy. But the money, the bread. I'm just looking at the bread. Yeah, the bribery, whatever, boom, boom. Okay, cool. So I'm just trying to compare and contrast. When Ted DiBiase Jr. was given this bread for this welfare thing to go into his nonprofit, it was found that he was depositing money into the account. It was found that he was depositing money into this account. So, okay. What's the difference? He wasn't supposed to have it. He had lavish. I think did they say he got built him a house or had lavish vacations and stuff like that? Ain't that what was said? So I mean, what is the difference between this case and that one? Why didn't they find him guilty? Because it was evidentiary in his case. It was evidentiary that he was depositing money into his bank accounts. That means he had the money. Well, let's look at it like this here. Aaron Banks, Jody Owens, Lumumba. They had the bread. They went on, so what? They went on boat rides. This is boo, boo, boo. Okay. They had the bread. But the same thing with Ted DiBiase Jr. He had the bread. What holes was in this case? Let's compare and contrast. Because it seems to me bribery is bribery. And I don't give a ding dong who doing it. Look, I'm this close I'm this close pulling the race card. But I can't because this was a high profile situation. These guys was active city officials doing this. He was just a civilian. Former celebrity civilian / civilian did this. That's exactly what this is. High profile against low profile. We know who Ted DiBiase Jr. daddy is. We know what type of prestige that he has. Of course, common sense. That ain't got nothing to do with him. But the fact that the publicity by itself on both of these cases is what needs to be, is what I'm looking at. I'm looking at the publicity. Publicities would put them in both of them in high profile. It's just that one was active, one was inactive. He wasn't a wrestler doing this mess, but they were active in their duties, taking those bribes. Now, but I'm not, like I said, wrong is wrong. I don't give a ding dong. They were wrong, he was wrong. Let's look at it from a moral standpoint. Now, let's look at it morally. We went to the law, we lost. It's not what you know, it's what you can prove. We know that. But now, from a moral standpoint, both of them was wrong. Both of these cases is wrong. Both of them. Where is the morality in our commentary? See, we sit around here and talk about the law, but then when it comes to morality, or we just skip over that. My question to Clay Edwards is, where was the morals in this case with Ted DiBiase Jr.? Was he morally right or morally wrong? See, come on, man. See, this is the reason why I said I'm real close pulling the race card. Because the thing is that I'm looking at this now from a morality standpoint. And it seems to me that that's been ignored. Oh boy, I tell you the truth. It, this, this stuff stinks. This stuff stinks. I'm gonna land my plane on that because yesterday the city of Jackson, the city council had a meeting for this moratorium for these data centers and all this kind of stuff. Okay, so I ain't feeling that either. Call me grouchy, call me whatever you want to call me, but don't call me collect. 1-800-COLLECT don't work no more. Because you the resident, they blowing smoke up your tails. Because I'm listening to everything Grizel's saying, I'm listening to everything he's saying. And it seems to me that they blowing smoke up the residents' tails because, let me tell you why. Because they're talking about we need to get, we want to get everybody's opinions and things like that so we can make informed decisions on the policies that we can set in place so when they come in, that means they're coming. That means the data centers is coming. So what's the sense of we giving you our opinions? We don't, the people don't want them here. Keep it real and stop playing. Parker Brothers is in business because people like to play board games. Xbox and PlayStation is in business where they get money because people like to play games. I am not Parker Brother. I'm not Sony. And I am not Microsoft. Don't play no games with me. Because you know that they coming. You know they coming. Stop playing, city council. Y'all know they coming. Hell, y'all gonna approve it. Look, I know that the city is strapped for cash. And this right here would definitely be a good idea to put in place into the city because it's going to bring in some tax dollars. If it bring in tax dollars. Because a lot of times that crap comes in here, they offer them some type of deal. We buy this property, this, that, whatever, and we don't get no taxes for a certain period of time. Look, if that's the case, y'all definitely need to keep it out of here. You don't need to make no deals like that. If y'all gonna come in here, y'all gonna pay taxes. Off the rip. They come in here, they need to be paying taxes. If the residents don't want it in here, they come in here, well, we want to come in here and develop. We're gonna policies and taxes is gonna be in place if you want to come in. You don't come. But see, y'all not gonna do that. You're not gonna play hardball with these jerks. You got a data center coming to Brandon. You got a data center just was built in Clinton. You got a data center coming to Vicksburg. You got a data center, I don't know if it was just built, I don't know if it's being built or if it's built already in Ridgeland. Madison. Canton. How many more data centers do you need? And they all in close proximity to each other. And I ain't hear not one time anybody say anything about Pearl. I ain't hear one time anybody say about Flowwood. Or down there on 49, down there in Florence. I ain't hear not one thing about down yonder. Down there towards Macomb, Brookhaven, Hazelhurst. I ain't hear nothing about a data center being put down in them spots. So let's stop playing games, City Council. Don't blow no smoke up your residents' tails. Because they mess around, they're going to vote you out. Because, like I said, if a data center do come, you're going to have some pissed off people. I can guarantee you that. I can guarantee you that. If that data center come, you're going to have some pissed off people. Because you're going to have some people that's misinterpreting what you're saying. Just be honest. If they're coming, they're coming. But we want to set policies in place to make sure that they abide by. And we want to make sure that they're going to pay our taxes. Because the city's strapped for cash. Just be honest. Stop the double talk. Because that's all it is a bunch of noise and double talk. And you got folks, some of these folks out here shaking their heads like this, like they understand and they don't. Look, I don't know anything about these data centers. Nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm a computer engineer by trade, hobbyist, whatever you want to call it. But I don't know anything about these data centers. But one thing I do know is that if the people don't want it, then you need to go with the people. Nah, people don't want this. We got too many petitions, or we got too many letters, or we got too many people coming to the council. I mean, because the last time them folks came that I remember, they was jam-packed up in there. And y'all still was blowing smoke up their tails. Hey. Only thing I'm saying, y'all need to get it together and be honest. Straightforward. Cut to the chase. Cut to the chase. And say, here's what the deal is. Because I guarantee you this. When the vote come around, your vote gonna be in question. Stay tuned.